So yeah, welcome back. We're having a little bit of technical issue tonight. We're gonna try to get the game rolling, but if we have another hiccup, we might just take a pass for the evening. Um, so I did some announcements. If you weren't here for that, I'm sorry. I'll talk about them again later. We're gonna go ahead and jump in to the session, and I'm gonna give the players a little recap on what all is going on. So at the end of last session, the party worked again, basically fought an arena combat against a series of enemies to entertain this man named Vokath. He's this Mercane, which is like a blue magical giant who runs this like kind of is like an arms dealer for all these different factions. And he's been building up political relations with them. And his whole pitch was you go to the arena, you impress me, impress them, these factions, and I'll introduce you and give you a good word. And then the whole session, last session, after defeating this big worm, this big millipede named Gorma, the party, first of all, they lost Princess Sedalia. She was this astral elf that was with them. She was kidnapped by her brother. However, she left a ring with the party saying, if you get your coalition together, if you impress these factions, meet me at the Citadel in Xaryxis space, and we will use this ring together to destroy the star Xaryxis. So that's kind of the general concept that's been pitched to the players. And so they perform well in the arena. And then, of course, a mixture of Ichabod and really all the players kind of contributing, but Ichabod and and I don't remember who did the negotiation with the Thrycreen, but the Thrycreen party members in Ichabod did a lot of heavy lifting. Placebo had earned all this credibility with her heroics in the arena. The combination, all five factions in attendance have agreed to support the party. Now, there were some trades that were made. The party negotiated a few things. I believe there was several offers to relocate people. There was an offer to provide like spoils of war to one faction. And so those are things that'll have to be resolved at a different date. I think some might have been slightly contradictory, but that's okay. I think that there was like faction, like maybe like spoils promised to two different people, but maybe not.
Yeah, but one like intact ships or something, and the other was just scrap metal. So it
Okay,
it works out.
it's gonna work out. You've
You gotta
carefully
you
done
gotta
enough.
read the fine print.
Hmm.
We're talking about Ichabod here.
Yeah, I'll draft up some nice legal documents.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'll accept it. We'll say that because I don't remember the exact details. We'll say that it was negotiated out in the sense that there weren't conflicts, but there'll definitely be some cleanup tasks for the party. But the factions have agreed to work together. The five factions. It's the Hadozi human sort of group. That's going to be the Arakakra, the Artuks, which are like these plant beings, the Thrycreen, which are sort of like insect creatures, similar to, or actually identical to two of the party's members. And then the last one is the Cicerans or the Surians or whatever, Surans. They kind of more like a crocodilian lizard folk from the planet of Athos, which is where our friend Koraz is from. And so that party they've all got these factions together, and Vokath, who was like this power broker, kind of working in this doom space world, selling spelljammers, helms, and ships and things. He sees an opportunity to potentially make a name for himself and gain some additional favor. He thinks the party's on the right track. And so he's not personally going to go, but he is supplying some additional ships. And so the big story is the party has collected 30 ships for their fleet, which is much better than the one ship they came in with. It's a 30 times, it's actually 31 ships if you count their ship. So it's a 31 times fleet size. And so the party is in much better shape to take on Xaryxis. But what's missing is the plan. What is the party going to actually do to tackle Xaryxis? And so that's where we're going to pick up. And I realize I forgot to put um, one character at the table. So we're going to be over here, kind of in this literal table here. And if you haven't seen I don't know if my ping was forcing views, but it's like over this area.
I love how we're all sitting around. It's like so cozy.
It's very cozy. I should have got a. I started to put in oh, you know what? I should get an actual table in here, but I did not do that. Where is what's his face? Can't even think of his name.
Warwick.
Warwick. I don't know where he is. Well, Warwick is there. I don't know why I'm not seeing him appear in my list of stuff, but let's just say that Warwick is available. So he's also at this conversation. So what you'll find there at the conversation is basically the situation is we need a plan. And so Vokath, recognizing that we need some kind of an actual like strategy for approaching Xaryxis, he's called a war meeting. And I don't know exactly how we left off last session, but we'll say that this is happening in Vokath's domain. And there's several people there. Not going to go through all their names because the first one I read is Mojo Joe, and who knows what else is available to me. But there's several faction leaders that are there, and essentially you have a faction leader from the Adozi, faction leader from the Artok, etc. All those groups I mentioned. They're at this table, and essentially they're just trying to figure out, like, look, we put in with you, we're going to support you. What are we doing? Are we going in guns a-blazing? Are we going to try to like divide and conquer? Like they want to hear a strategy. And so they're kind of like murmuring and arguing, and Vokath is going to look to the party and just say, well, this is your plan. What are we doing? What am I investing my money into?
And Ichabod will turn to his companions because he was all about diplomacy, but he is not a war strategist. So he's going to look towards his more battle, hardened companions, his sister, Placebo, and the bounty hunter, Zeph, the mad sorcerer, Koraz, and he's like, all right, what are we doing, guys?
They said guns blazing. That sounds cool.
And if Grimzod is on our ship, he can turn our vessel invisible. So that seems like a very plausible tactic.
Perhaps we could even have our fleet kind of move to engage, but then put the Xaryxians on a wild goose chase. Like, so maybe a lot of people don't have to die.
Yes, if we sent a small percentage of our force in to perhaps start harrying their defenses, pull back as though they, in fear and in full retreat, the bulk of our fleet waiting. Meanwhile, the second wind, as a invisible vessel, can kind of slip past during all the chaos.
Is there a different reason other than the reason that we're attacking that others might want to harass the Xaryxians? Because I'm thinking if the distraction makes the people inside the citadel want to lock down the citadel or the astral font or the princess and put them under guard, it might make it harder for us to infiltrate.
Crux
Yes.
will chime up at that point and be like, well, if I know the Xaryxians, they're arrogant bastards. They will be cheering as we battle, especially if it looks like we're losing.
Oh, that would be a very good distraction then.
We could also have someone else captain the second wind, so it looks as though we, with a small, maybe even just 2 or 3 other ships, are coming to do the guns blazing, and they'll just expect it's us trying to save the princess and think that if they pursue us and destroy us, their problems will be over, and they really wouldn't have any reason to believe that the citadel itself is in any danger. It would be sort of a decoy within the diversion.
Grimzard will just pipe up and say, "Well, I can make the ship invisible, but it only lasts for 1 hour."
So
Can
we
you
would
make
have.
any ship invisible, Grimzod? Any ship that you're on?
Oh, good question. I think that's the rule. Or if he has to be the captain.
And then what are we thinking? We're thinking send a small, like have the fleet kind of back as like a line, and then send a small group forward. When that small group engages, have another smaller group go off that they think is us heading towards the Citadel. Is that what you were saying, or just that full forward group heading towards the Citadel?
I guess I was thinking if we go in there looking like we're desperate and weak with like 5 ships, right? We have the second wind, we have a few others, like maybe we got just one faction to join us, right? And we're going to make this onslaught against the Citadel. We start taking damage, end up having to pull back, they pursue, and then they meet all the remaining like 25 ships, 25, 26 ships. Well, 25, like waiting to kind of envelop them, and which would hope, and then
We're thinking they would
yeah.
only deploy enough to kind of take out our small crew, and not knowing. That's a good idea. And
Because
then,
then,
and
I
then
mean,
when they retreat, we turn invisible and go, type of deal.
So are we on the second wind in this scenario, or are we on a different ship so that no one suspects us?
that was yes. It was an idea. I don't know that the Xaryxians know our vessel, but maybe they do. Maybe
They
They
definitely
have
do.
tried to kill us several times.
Yeah, they definitely know our
Yes.
ship. That would be a fantastic decoy to not take our ship and to take a different ship, and go with Grimzod, have it turn invisible, maybe from the get go, from like the moment one that they can see our ships, we go invisible. This way, we're already on the way to the Citadel, but when they're heading out to engage, and we've got all this time, you know, um, to kind of get there and do the thing. And what Koraz can do is he can, whoever is piloting the second wind, he can cast a sending spell and can let them know when we're gonna blow the star and say, "Get the hell out of here." You know what I mean? Type of thing. Or disengage and get the hell out of here. I mean, I don't think we have like ludicrous speed, but you know, something like that. Hit ludicrous speed. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Which
that's
factions
really
have the fastest ship? Because we should be on one of theirs as the infiltration. Is the
yes. That's
Scorpion a fast one?
Oh, good question. I was pulling up a map while you were bringing that up because some things might change. It could be interesting. Let me look that up. Boop, 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 boop. Look at this map real quick. So yeah, your question was: is the Scorpion a?
It's a cute ship, but is it a fast one? Because we should really be on one of the fastest ships.
Yeah, shit. Let's see. All right, give me a second. All right, so pull up the ships. That's what I get for not having my physical book nearby. So I do think that because you're on a galleon, right? Like that's what the second one's a galleon, like a galleon with the. Oh no, it's not. It's a living ship. Okay, so that actually changes it a little bit. All right.
So that would definitely make sense for us not to be using, a cruise ship to
Mm-hmm.
infiltrate.
So living ship speed is 40 feet. So it goes 4.5 miles per hour. And the Scorpion ship is 30 feet Actually, we can actually walk on land
Very
though.
useful.
It's a little shorter, less quick. Now there's a waft ship. That's what the Syrians bring. It's 50 feet.
Okay.
There's a let's see if there's anything else that's faster. Oh, the Shrike ship. That is 70 feet. That's 8 miles per hour.
That's the one where that's what we
Yeah.
got to take.
That's the Aarakocra fly.
Oh, that would make sense. Yes.
Yeah,
They
because we
understand
get
that
along with them the best.
Yeah, and I think that might be the fastest ship other than the Damselfly, which is the Mercane. It's Vocat's private ship, but he's not sending that
It's
ship.
not coming. Yeah.
No. After that, I think that is the fastest.
We won't get a scratch on it. We promise. It'll be fun.
The Star Moths, by contrast, are 50 feet. So they're fairly fast, but they're not the top.
Yeah, I think what we do is we take the Shrike. How many Shrikes do we have?
So you have 5 Shrike ships.
Yeah, so we take one of the Shrikes, and then I think we have Crux maybe stay back and captain his ship.
Oh. I'll lose it for sure.
Isn't it his ship, though?
It's his ship.
Yeah, I think it's his ship, right? Like
It is.
Like, are we gonna be like, oh, we're taking Grimzod, so one of the Artooks is gonna pilot your ship. I think we have to give it back to Han Solo here.
I agree. I just hope that the gods don't target him unjustly.
the gods. Carol be with him.
He's got what's his face? The other mad hippo man. Warwick with him. Keep him in line. It's not like the Xaryxians are gonna be gunning for that ship or anything.
And so Warwick will try to say, so your plan is to make your way to the Citadel.
Quickly. Yes.
Yeah, and then
invisibly.
I have a greater invisibility spell as well. So maybe I can when we get to the Citadel, right? When Grimzod's visibility is running out at the hour, right? We stash the ship somewhere. I can save my invisibility spell and cast it on someone who's gonna get into the Citadel and get the princess. Then we got an hour on that invisible. That's the best I can do, and we're gonna have to get to the temple or something there.
Well, I think it's all well and good to have an exit strategy, but if we fail, we won't need an exit strategy because we will be dead. If we succeed, we may not need an exit strategy because, well, I guess there'll be a power struggle. I don't know if the princess has supporters. I don't know. I don't know if we will be able to escape.
With the star dead, I mean, we win, so maybe they'll kill us or something, but your planet will live, so.
Do we know if the the signet ring in the ritual will destroy the star, but is this just like it's going black hole, it's going supernova, it's just fizzling out of existence? Do we have any notion of that?
I'm trying to think in the flurry of conversation if that would have been the details been explained to you. I will put it this way: the princess did not indicate that you would automatically die. Right? You follow me? Like she wasn't like it's a foolhardy thing. You're going to be sacrificed. The implication was that you would be able to pull yourself out of the situation.
Yeah, we saved the world.
And I forget, are we killing the brother or not?
Oh, I think he's fair game.
I mean, he'll probably make us kill him. I don't think he's gonna give us a choice. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like we're with the princess. There's a long hallway. The temple's at the end of it, and that dude's gonna stand right in the doorway. I guarantee it.
It is okay to kill him then. That is okay. That is all I was worried about.
Yeah, the only reason we would want him alive is to perhaps complete the ritual because he has the blood of Xaryxis, but I don't think we would be able to convince him to do it. Well, I guess maybe I could try to convince him magically, but I think if we can keep him alive just in case we need him, but if we have the princess and we don't need him, he's an obstacle to be overcome.
Do we
He's
just
probably
need his
always
blood?
gonna.
Oh,
We need
sorry.
either hers or his, right?
Right, but does he need to be alive, or do we just need his blood?
I think just the blood. All they said was blood.
That would be easier, because we can get the blood if he's alive or dead.
I thought the person doing the ritual has certain advantages if they are of that blood. They don't have to necessarily make certain
Oh, then he shouldn't.
saves.
Then he should not be dead.
Just kill them and pour their blood in the fountain. That'll probably do the trick.
I think that would work. I'm
mean,
agreeing.
I'll just cast friends on him, guys. It's fine. I'll just cast friends on him and say, "Hey, destroy your son and your whole,
I pictured the princess just like, cutting her thumb like a pinky swear or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Smeared on the ring.
I think we lost Alex.
Oh no.
Oh,
I think he's just brooding. He's like,
I don't like this
Fuck
plan.
the more
This
he
plan
thinks,
sucks.
he's just stewing about like the injustice of the multiverse. Just, Are we still live?
I think. Yeah. Looks like it.
He's still moving on the stream.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, there he just froze. He just froze. Oh no, he didn't.
Okay. Well, so while we're still live, because I'm assuming there's a few more moments of liveness, sounds like we may have some technical problems tonight, y'all, but we will keep pressing and see if Alex comes back. So the thing I was going to share with you is Vocath is going to walk up. He's going to plant a crystal. See Alex in the chat. And he's going to plant a crystal on the table, and it's going to project a minor illusion, and you'll see this image. You'll say, well, it's like, I guess I have something else I can share with you. Does that show to you?
Oh, it's a butterfly. That is.
Aw.
It's the moth-shaped asteroid.
It's a moth-shaped asteroid. So this is what I know about the Citadel. Don't ask me how I got this information, but
How did you get this information?
he just looks at you. So use it for what you will. On your attack, I would just say, in my personal opinion, is to kill all of the nobles. Every one of them, if you can. Cut off the head of the snake, all that. Including the princess.
Yes,
Oh,
if we
but
have the princess, she could keep the nobles under control, presumably, when she takes over, or at least she would be in a better place to do so. I don't think we're going to have the luxury of a long, drawn-out massacre once we once we arrive.
Yes,
I
that
think
is
we-
indeed a luxury. We only get to do those on special occasions.
Yes. Like in the safety of an arena.
You guys
Like
hear
then
me?
we have. Yes, we hear you, Alex.
You missed the luxurious slaughter.
No, I could hear you guys fine. You just
Oh,
couldn't
Oh
hear
no
me.
way.
We aren't making fun. Oh, wait, you heard us.
I heard it all.
So, and so
So, yes.
Vocath will say, well, and you trust this princess? He's kind of like playing with one of his gold rings on his finger.
Well,
She is a Xaryxian.
she is a Xaryxian, but at this point we have little choice but to trust her. It costs us nothing to trust her. She gave us the signet ring. Gives us nothing to trust her. If she at the end will not do the ritual, we will just have to attempt it with the ring without her help. She has no love of her brother. We all saw that in the arena when he came on Dragonback to abduct her.
Or are you
But
saying she's an actress and she's just playing a part? Maybe she is just trying to use us to get rid of her brother. And then she will
Hmm.
be even more evil than her father. She didn't seem that way, but
I mean, as long as the star is not sucking the juice out of your planet, they can be evil on their own planet all they want, right? I mean,
Fair
right,
enough.
yeah, I think there will definitely be some chaos within their society once their home star is destroyed and the power shifts because the princess rises the power. So we can't predict what will happen, but what we can say is they will no longer have the means to destroy entire planets. They may still be the scourge of wild space with their ships, but they will not be quite as formidable without their planet killer.
yes, and there will be a unified army now, factions working together to keep them in check. Unless you know something we don't know.
No, just entertaining the idea that you may want to have a backup for your backup for how you destroy this temple, just in case.
I mean, but if we just destroy the temple, then it doesn't destroy this. We got to destroy the star is the whole idea. So we got to do the ritual,
Oh, right.
you know. So yeah, I think that's to Ichabod's point. We bring her with. She tries to stand in the way of the ritual. You know. Yeah.
That is very creepy with all six arms going like that.
Yeah. It's cool, right? I was trying to do a chop thing, but I like this better. I like that. That's good.
It does seem prudent for us to have an exit strategy. We will not be welcomed by many of the Xaryxians, even as the princess. Well, our hope is we kill the prince and she regains gains the throne, but we can't predict whether that will happen or not. So we probably do want a fast way back off of the asteroid, out of the Citadel. So what were you saying earlier, Koraz, about greater invisibility? You think you could hide our ship?
I don't think I can hide our ship. I think our ship is going to turn uninvisible after an hour. So we're going to have to hide it somewhere that it's not just super obvious. Poof! Here it is, right in front of the temple. You know, what I can do with my greater invisibility is I can turn, once we know kind of where the princess is, we can turn someone invisible. So if she's being watched, which she probably is, they can, give her the old tap tap, lead her out, something to meet up with us unnoticed. But yeah, we're gonna have to stash the ship somewhere that we can get back to it to escape somehow. I don't think we all together have enough invisibles to invisible at all.
No, and I was thinking if we had another pilot who could swing back and pick us up when things get hairy. But
Or we steal a ship. We could steal a ship and leave.
We
Because if
could
we
leave
bring in a
Grimzod
different
on the ship.
yeah, yeah. I just think a different ship is going to stand out, but stealing one of their ships,
yes, how long does it take to attune to a Spelljammer, though? The actual helm.
the helm. Bring your own helm. Is it heavy? Could we bring the helm?
Take a look. I think there might actually be some rules for doing that kind of fast. But I think I don't know.
tuning?
You can pass it from one person to another really quickly, but I think it's an hour
Yeah, I
otherwise.
think you have to hand it off.
The problem is even if Grimzod could be a Spelljammer himself and was flying the Shrike that we will be using, I don't know that we have a way to communicate with him to tell him where and when to pick us up.
How many times can I cast Sending Spell?
Yeah. Message ain't gonna cut it, but sending definitely could. If you
Yeah,
know.
Sending could. I do know it. And it's a 3rd level spell, and I have. Oh man, I have 3 3rd level spell slots, but I've already used 2 of them, so I only have 1 right now.
Oh, we'll have time to rest before.
True. Yeah, I should have told you. You will definitely get a long rest because it's going to take a couple days to get the
Okay,
fleet in
so
position.
I could save my 3rd levels for Sending. Let's see. Greater Invisibility is a 4th level. I have 2
How
of
long
those.
does that last?
1 hour.
Greater. Okay.
And that one it doesn't give any like. It just says you or a creature you touch become invisible until the spell ends, and anything you wear is invisible as long as it's on the person. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't say anything about like if you're getting combat, you're uninvisible, anything like that. I think you're just invisible.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's a great spell. It's greater.
It's greater. So I can hold on to that for 2, and then just say, okay, I'll use my 2nd and 1st level spells willy nilly, but hold my 3rd and 4th level spells just for sending and invisibility.
And we don't even know. I mean, having a greater invisibility probably will be a boon, but as long as we just have like one slot for sending to like, all right, get us out of here.
Well, and I think we need to save a slot for sending to send back. Like we have to keep the good faith of these people, and we can't just like put them in to be a distraction and die. We have to give them a
Right.
way to let them know we're about to blow the star. Get the heck
Or
out of there.
some sort of signal. We have to have some sort of signal, whether it's sending or something. And I I don't mean to like, okay, so with the invisibility, my understanding was the regular invisibility lasts an hour, but greater invisibility is a shorter spell.
Is it?
Your spell might be different, but
Oh
that
yeah,
was
it's
my
way shorter. It's way shorter. Concentration up to 1 minute. Yeah, it's 1 minute. So it's like bloop, barely.
Great for combat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
it's
for
great for
combat.
combat because you can fight invisibly, but
That's a great point. Do we know? Was Grimzod his own spell jamming captain? Like, was he a spell
no.
jammer himself?
No, remember,
He
wasn't
had
it
flapjack or something.
No.
His ghost, the ghost that
the
mutinied
ghost,
against him.
Oh,
the
that's
evil
right.
ghost?
She was so
I don't
possessive.
remember her name, but she
Heyo.
was not.
Forgot her name too, actually. What was her name?
Isn't it like agony or something like
Yeah, I
That
think it was
sounds
that.
about
was.
right. Yep.
that? Ugh. So we would need. I mean, we're gonna need another spell jammer anyway because we're not gonna leave Koraz just sitting on the
Right.
ship, or we'd have to stash the ship somewhere and hope no one wrecks it, which I think is not likely. We're gonna stick
Especially
out,
if we take a fast train
right?
ship.
Yeah, suddenly an Aarakocra ship like shows up. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's normal." So we might have to recruit somebody. I think
Well, I
Flapjack was on
imagine
the
if
very first ship we were on. I don't think he's
Yeah,
anywhere
yeah.
near.
I imagine though, if we are being provided ships, they will come with spelljammers.
I would hope so.
Yeah, and they'll all look at you like, of course.
See,
How did the
we
ships
have
get
many to
here?
choose from.
Yeah, and the whole coalition is here, and like I'm gonna say that like some of the more sensitive conversations you had about them being sacrificed would not be in front of them.
No, we're saying we don't want to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good,
we're
it's
not
a good thing to say
sacrificing.
in front of them.
We're not gonna
No
waste their
sacrifice.
lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they'll participate
Some
here and
people
there.
may
But
die, but not all of us, and we're gonna do our best to take out the Xaryxians with the least amount of casualties, because we're good like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll act very excited about that statement. But no, yeah, they're like, yeah, we're in this together. We're gonna take those Xaryxis. If we're gonna do it, let's do it right. The Aarakocra captain just slams her little bird hand on the table.
Yeah.
Called a
Um,
wing.
if you need
And
a
then we're
shrine-
gonna go to Athos with these Thrycrane, and we're gonna become sorcerer kings. Oh, sorry.
And so, but they're all sort of like they're in it, they're on board, and the captain of the leader of the coalition or leader of the Aarakocra is going to be like, yeah, you can have a strike ship, like no problem. Like they're committed. They don't want to die either, but they are. If it uproots the Xaryxians, takes out that problem, and for some of these people, creating a power vacuum would be good. Like that's Vokath is not too upset about that idea.
So back to our escape. Are we thinking the same ship we ride in on, we're riding out on, or we're thinking we need two different ships? Or are we thinking we're having the ship drop us off, kind of keep circling around the block, so
Well,
to speak?
I
But they're going to
think
get attacked.
yes, I think it might be good to have that sending spell in case we need the ship to come back and get us. But I also think it would be easier to escape on a star moth than on, is that what they're called? Lunar moth, star moth, something weird like that, right?
Darma.
On a star moth, which might look like one of their ships rather than having one of ours come back in to get us.
That would
So
be
we
better if it doesn't take too long to attune
Right.
with the
So
And I
we-
think
helm.
that was the discussion. I don't remember getting an answer.
So maybe we
How
get
long?
dropped off. Maybe we get dropped off, right? We send Grimzod and a sneaky Spelljammer to infiltrate a Star Moth and attune to it while we try to save the world. They may or may not have to need it, but they're gonna do it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the best way to do that would be. Do we have no, we don't have any like Star Moth leftovers.
No, we
Oh,
thought about maybe
remnants.
taking that derelict one, but we were afraid they'd track us somehow and we'd get in more trouble. So we just went away in our junker and left it.
Would our Hadozi friends maybe know something about them or be useful if we were going to try to steal one away on our way out?
The Hadozis to help you steal a star moth. So the Hadozi captain will just look at you and like he's just dragging on a cigarette. Say, I don't know what you are implying about the Hadozi.
Weren't they on a similar ship?
Oh,
Isn't that
that's
where
right.
we?
Yeah,
That's
no,
where
you're
we met them.
right. Are you saying that we work with these Xaryxians? Maybe some of us do to
yes,
survive.
some of you did.
Listen, and I think there were some. Did you end up? No, they're on Elena's ship, right? The Hadozi that you rescued.
The ones that came with us, I think, parted ways with us.
Oh, they're not
as
with
soon
us.
as,
Okay.
as soon as they possibly could.
But the captain say, well, it's true that some of us have served in the Star Moths before, so I can ask some of my crew if they know how to find one, but unlikely that there would be one on the Citadel. I mean, I should say, unlikely that our Hadozi would be serving on the Citadel. I'm sure there are many Star Moth there.
I mean, maybe we should have kind of a loose plan to escape. But I mean, let's face it, guys. If we fail, we're probably just dead. So
Well, I
Just
hear
saying.
two very good
Let's-
plans for
let's-
escape.
let's plan on taking out the star, and then escape, schmiscape.
And
And
someone
we
at
could-
the. I was
We
going
could
to just say.
convince the pilot just to Spelljammer to fly the ship for us and say, fly the ship away or we kill you. Maybe that would work too.
That
I
is
like
another
that.
option. Yeah.
That's more our style. Yeah, maybe if we have to, we just, storm a star moth. And yeah, force the Spelljammer to fly us away.
See, very good plans. We can
Yeah,
call for rescue, we can steal and fly our own ship, or we can steal and coerce someone else to fly it for us. 3 plans.
we got options.
They can't all go wrong.
Did we get an answer from anyone at the table of how long it takes to attune to?
Oh, I'm sorry. I looked it up and I blanked. I think it was an
I think-
hour.
Okay, yeah. So that's off the table. Is like we wouldn't be able to steal one. We'd have to hope there was a Spelljammer on the vessel, which, yeah, it probably would be or nearby. But
Yeah,
if we
which-
can,
Someone can transfer it to you if they're willing.
Oh, you can be very persuasive, brother. I'm sure they would be willing if it
yes,
means their life is on the line.
yes, I have the friends cantrip, so that I can always try pulling that out. Calm some emotions
Just go
first,
down
and
the
then
line. You want to help us. You want to help.
yeah.
What
So
if
yeah,
the
I think
friends cantrip saves the
we
party?
get so then we're gonna get dropped off and we're gonna have the ship fly back up and go into battle or whatever.
Right, or at least try to.
Cause a distraction or whatever.
Grimzod, are you able to turn the ship invisible for 1 hour once per day, or is that something that?
Once per day.
Okay. All right, so then you might as well come with us as we disembark. The more the merrier. Yeah, I guess with the one that drops us off, if they can just kind of stay somewhat nearby but not in harm's way. We
Okay.
might have to wait a little bit for them to to come back at this, but or we steal one, or if we. I mean, looking at the map, there's a couple different docks. Common
Mhm.
docks might be our best choice to commandeer something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me hear the plan because that's going to impact what happens next. So the plan. Well, actually, just can one of you summarize the plan exactly to me, like how you're going to tackle it?
I'm
I
sure
think
one
we're
of us
gonna
can. It
I
won't be
think
me.
I think we're having the ships kind of line up in a line, right, to be seen by the Xaryxians, and then we're going to send a smaller group in, including our ship, the Second Wind, right? Is that the deal? Or hide the bigger group to try to lure them in. So yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna hide the bigger group behind something, a planet, some kind of whatever we can, if we can, moon, and then send in a smaller group of ships, including the Second Wind, to seem as if they're heading right for the Citadel, just a last ditch attempt, right? When they come out to engage, the ships are gonna kind of retreat back and looking scared, maybe take a couple hits first to make it convincing, and then our ships will engage with the group of Xaryxis that comes out. Meanwhile, behind the facade of this innocent-looking bookstore, Grimzod and us are heading in on the Eric Cocker ship to get into find the princess and then get to the Temple of Light. I think that's the plan.
Got it. And then you'll just deal with how you get out, assuming that you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whoever's piloting the Eric Cocker ship, I think we're gonna say, stay in the neighborhood, but stay out of trouble. And if we need you, we'll send you a message.
Cool. So then, who all NPC wise are you taking on the strike ship?
I think just Grimzod, right?
Yeah, we'll have probably an Eric Cocker Spelljammer, and Grimzod. So we have that hour of invisibility.
Yeah, because
I
Crux and
mean,
Warwick are on the Second Wind.
yeah, I think we leave the two GIF together or GIF together. I don't know that there's anyone else that it makes sense to have with the infiltrating party other than just them, the 5 of us, including Grimzod. I mean, if we had an Umber Hulk, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, Yeah,
Snapper
Teddy wanted to kill.
will roll up and raise his hand or whatever its hand and offer to come along as well.
Yeah, Snapper.
Huh? Nice.
We'll
Our
we'll
boy.
take anyone who wants. I mean, obviously we don't want to be too huge. I mean, we're not going to take a whole army. The faster we can move, the better. So I
And
think
with that
And then how
pass
does-
without trace, how many people can?
Yeah, how does that work?
Is there a limitation?
good
Seth?
point.
I bet I know what Zeph would say.
I'm sorry. What was the
Oh, there it
question?
is.
Does pass without trace have a limitation on number of people?
I think it's 10.
Okay,
Ooh.
so we want to keep our team under 10, or 10 and under. And we have
Okay.
to account for the princess perhaps too, right? If we find her? Once we find her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of that, based on this map, like where are we coming down and where are we looking for her? We know where the temple is. We know where the
Yes.
gardens are. She's probably not hanging out in the garden.
Well, wasn't she isn't she supposed to lend credence to the prince kind of raising himself
So
up as emperor?
they'll be by the
maybe
palace.
palace?
So we're gonna have to go in invisible to the palace, or we're gonna have to land invisibly by the palace and then try to sneak in by the palace to get her, and then make our way to the Temple of Light.
So Grimzod and the Aarakocra captain will say, or I guess the Aarakocra captain will say, well, you're not going to be landing a strike in the middle of
No.
the palace, but you might be able to rappel off from ropes at the best. And basically, she'll explain like you're actually going to take the ship down and like rest it to where you can like get off of it in a normal way. You would want to be at a dock or some other kind of like level spot. But if you're talking like kind of like how you did on the Tarask planet, like hop out of it, like come out of the ship, you could do that.
Yeah, we probably have to do that.
Mhm.
Probably have to repel.
I'm very good at falling.
At what point do we become visible? When we let go of the rope? When we are outside of? Gary, just with you.
Let me look at this explanation because it's very clear that when Grimzod leaves the ship, it becomes visible.
So Grimzod's staying on the ship.
Yeah, if that's the tactic. It's all creatures and objects aboard. I'll say for the sake of, I think this is fair that if you're coming down a rope, you're still aboard the ship. Sort of. Close enough. So
Well,
as soon as you let go of the rope, though.
Yeah. I think we need to keep him on the ship then. Otherwise, it's going to be very obvious that an infiltration team has just landed as the. So I think Grimzod probably does need to stay on the ship. So at least they can kind of get away without being seen.
That would give them their fairest shot.
Yeah, and then maybe they can head over towards the temple area and kind of try to hide somewhere, floating around. I don't know. There's a garden, and they can hide in the garden.
It would be like a very big bird just resting in the garden.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Sure.
it's called a shrike. Come on.
Garth,
Well, maybe
yeah.
we want to take Warwick with us then, so at least we have a little bit more muscle. I honestly think Crux is going to be safer on the second win, guys.
I just feel like bringing either one of them is not going to help us stay quiet. There's
That's a
going to
fair
be
point.
at some point. There's going to be an explosion, like literally, and then
Yeah.
everyone's going to know where we are. I think our Snapper is a good call because he's quiet. He can just roll.
Like,
You know?
did you hear the rustling of leaves?
Right? Yeah.
He's just like a tumbleweed going across the.
He could just walk right in and get the princess for us. Yeah, I think Snapper's. Other than that, we're gonna have. I think we're the muscle. I I can.
Yeah,
got
I don't know.
monster-
I just feel like having a meat shield isn't a bad thing because there's been times where Crux and/or Grimzod has been able to take quite a few blows that otherwise would have gone to us. But maybe we're more powerful now, and
I mean, you do bear a very good point with that.
And we aren't. It's a different type of battle. We will run. We don't need to necessarily stay and fight. We can run.
Which the big hippo men will probably be slow us down doing that too. It's up to you guys. I do see where a little muscle could help, especially since I probably have some hit points out of everybody. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they're big, clumsy, and loud.
yeah,
They,
I mean,
they
you're
have been.
not wrong. I think there are definitely pros and cons, and maybe we don't. Maybe we don't take a hippo man with us.
This is actually called.
Are there any other spells or plans that do depend on a certain number of people? Because that could make a difference too.
I mean, my
I have
motivational speech hits, let's see,
It's the party, and then one extra.
5 creatures. So again, if it's just us and Snapper, motivational speech hits everybody.
Yeah.
don't have anything that helps many people.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe even with pass without a trace, the more people who are rolling stealth checks, the potentially the worse it can be.
I'm just saying the go-to for those guys as soon as we're in combat is Baboom.
Yeah.
That has
Well, if it
been-
was
That's my only
Crux, yeah,
thing.
Crux
You
would
know-
be like, "Go! I'll hold them off."
Yeah. Baboom! Then again,
I
if we're
don't-
running that way and the Baboom's over there, that might not be a bad thing either.
well, maybe
Yeah.
we just borrow some of the baboons and then we make our own baboon.
I mean, that's a valid point. We might want to just stock up on as much like firepower, any magic items, anything that we can get our hands on. Granted, I don't know that my character has a ton of gold at this point. I don't feel like we've ever gotten really
I have
any
5.
gold in the entire campaign.
Yeah.
We found one magical breastplate that we had to give to like buy out the lease Crux had put on his ship.
There was one time you could have gotten some gold, and it was like the last room. You just decided not to check.
Yeah.
And
They're
that's
like,
what
we
it
don't
was,
need
so.
that Spelljammer helm.
Well, things were shit
It was
hitting
bad
the
There
fan.
have been
times, so.
times
Things
where
were
I told
different
you
then.
to hurry.
Things were different
Yeah.
then.
Absolutely.
But
So yeah,
I mean,
what do you guys? What do you think? Should we roll a die for Warwick? Roll a d6 and 4
I'm
to 6
curious
becomes with.
what Placebo and what Zeph think about bringing Warwick. Ichabod's kind of inclined to bring him. It sounds like Koraz is kind of leaning the other way. So I'm curious what the other 2 party members are thinking.
I'd say leave him behind.
Okay.
I think he's probably
Placebo?
more useful being aboard the second wind than he would be with us.
I feel like when we're trying to be sneaky and stealthy, more people makes it difficult.
All
He
right,
might
then
be good in
let's.
a battle, but not very. He's big, and we can
Yeah.
get through small spaces. He can't.
That's true. And Snapper's pretty small. Is he actually a small creature? Or is he a medium creature, or is it a medium creature?
Snapper is a medium creature.
Interesting. All right, so that'll be our away team then. It'll be the 4 of us and Snapper.
Koraz puts on a red shirt.
No, no.
No, I didn't
Not a-
color. I didn't
It's
color.
not a
Put it on
good color
Snapper.
on you, Koraz. Don't put it on Snapper, and don't put it on Crux.
Crux has the whole different narrative thing going on. Don't worry about him. He's leading the ship that's going to draw the attention.
I feel bad because the tree is on that ship too, and it has no choice. So I just feel like we're putting this tree in danger, and it can't like just uproot itself.
We've been putting it in danger since we boarded it. Let's,
Oh,
nothing
I know.
really has changed.
That's true.
Crux will pipe up about that, be like, "Oh, Starbow, we've always been great mates. So he'll support me wherever I go." And I say, I lead the charge on the second wind. Me and my buddy Warwick, side by side again, against the Xaryxians. This time, we win. He pounds the table, and one of his fingers is
live.
like slightly touching a grenade, like
No.
it's like just kind of like messing with the little like pin.
It's not a
think you
fidget
should let
toy.
us use some of those. Yeah.
If you're nervous, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's hope Crux doesn't go like off script and he's like, no, I'm not gonna retreat and draw them back to the rest of the fleet. I'm going in, guns blazing.
Don't give me ideas.
I know.
Not a retreat, it's a lure tactic.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't even use the R word because then he'll be like, "No."
No, it's
Yeah, it's like it's a
It's a
tactic,
feint.
right?
It's a
Yeah,
tactic.
we're gonna hide our army behind the hill. We're gonna put
Yes.
our fake attacking force at the top of the hill and start to come down. When the enemy thinks they can
Yeah.
kill us, we're gonna retreat from behind the hill or send our guys over the hill. One or the other.
Ichabod will
No
start
retreat,
referring to
though.
it as the deceptive maneuver.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know that we're gonna get as lucky to like have an asteroid for the fleet to hide behind or anything like that. What I think we're probably gonna have to do is, I don't know, I'm not a navigator, but we're gonna just have to keep the bulk of the fleet like a certain number of feet/miles, like a mile or something, or a half a mile, like behind the rest, so they're not visible as like the first ships engage,
And then come in.
I'm a
yeah,
navigator. That sounds like a very good idea.
and then we keep them like a horseshoe so they can just engulf around.
Yeah.
Or they all line up behind each other, so it just
So it looks like one.
It's just one ship.
Look, the session is called Space Invaders, so it's kind of like.
Oh man.
So we have to find the biggest one to put in front.
Probably the Hammerhead ship. I think that might be the biggest.
Yeah.
So that's the deal, right? And I think for our invisibility to last the longest, right? Like we're gonna go with the crew that's going in on the front end, and we're just gonna when they're kind of slowing down, we're just gonna turn invisible and keep going, right? Go right past the people who are gonna engage with our people and down to the planet.
Yes.
Yeah, I think as soon as the first ships come, we turn invisible as the second wind and the other ships engage, and we just fly past.
Mm-hmm.
And they do their thing and hopefully draw even more ships out, and we just, go on our way to infiltrate.
And then we're gonna rappel out over by the
The palace area?
Palace, palace, yeah.
Yeah, at the Temple of Light, or no, it has to be at the
Imperial
palace
Palace. Well, we have to find
because
the
that's where
princess
she's
first.
gonna be. Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
I don't know if that's where she's going to be.
That's my best guess. That's my
a
best
guess.
guess. I can't imagine it would be so easy that she would just be like
At the
praying
temple.
in the garden.
Well,
the
or
temple.
do they go to the temple for the ceremony, or would that be at the Imperial Palace?
I think it's at the temple, but what are the odds we're gonna get there?
Not the ceremony that we need, but like the
crowning.
emperor, the crowning.
Mhm.
Thank you.
That's
Oh, that's
gotta
a
be
good
at the
point.
palace. That's usually at the palace, right? But it could be at the temple. It could be.
Well, let's see. What did Crux tell us about that?
Does Crux know?
Well, no, he was telling us about the Citadel. It's tethered to a star. Imperial Citadel.
We might
Yada,
just have to figure out when we get down there, guys. We might have to just get down there and be like, where is the crowd of people? Is it at the temple or is it at the palace? Because, he wants his sister's backing because everybody's going to be there, the whole kingdom, right? So we're going to be able to tell where the hell this thing is going
Right.
on.
We
The
just look
problem's
where
going
the
to be
people
like,
are.
yeah, exactly. We just look where the people are at.
I think we were told that they were going to sort of do the transfer of power, like when the old king died. Well, that's already happened, but I thought it was like to sort of coronate to like mark the occasion of the ascending new king. That was when they were going to do the ritual to like draw the power. Like I thought there was. I should look through my notes. I thought there was
No,
going.
you're right. I don't know who all would have said what, but
Probably the princess.
probably the princess would say that it's religious. Like the whole thing is when the king dies, the emperor dies, he's going to be like joined with the star through this ritual process, and then that's like kicks off the coronation. So
Oh,
you
so
would
it's
have
probably
strong, yeah, you'd have strong reason to believe it's the temple.
So we're gonna have to get the princess and do the thing like right there where everybody's gonna be already. Holy shit!
if
We just
you
have
get
to
there
close the
when that's
doors
happening,
and hold up against them. That's easy. We fend it off while she does the ritual.
If we get there before like the whole thing starts, then we just hide and just wait for them to come in and surprise them, and
We'll just explain to the crowd this is all part of it.
it's all part. Yeah,
It's working out differently this year.
No, Emperor was old. It has been a long time since they've had one of these ceremonies.
Mhm.
We're the enemies that they're vanquishing. It's just a part of the show.
Yeah.
we're cultural observers, is what we were there just to to mark the occasion. Yeah.
Representing all the different species that have been decimated by the Xaryxis.
Yeah.
I think we'll
So
just
we're
have to
biased.
make it as clear as we can to Crux and the rest of the Doom Space Coalition is to like really again sort of we're drawing enemies in and attacking, and like don't just necessarily go in and try to like bring everything really close. Kind of have them come to you and do evasive maneuvers, and like this isn't going to be a like we're conquering the Imperial Citadel. We are taking out as many ships as we can, like fainting and then coming back, that kind of stuff, just so they, maybe. And that's where we'll have to like just again depend on some of these other captains or Crux if he does actually know military stuff to like be clever. And yeah, we're not the
And not die.
yeah. That's everyone's goal. Don't die if you can help it. Like you're already being a hero by doing this. Like dying is not gonna help matters.
Do the brave deception maneuver. That is not a retreat.
Yes.
So how many ships are going to be a part of this brave deception maneuver? Just Crux? Or are there,
No.
are there like wingmen?
Oh no.
You wish, Winston.
Wait, so how many ships do we have in total? It was 60, 70?
30.
30?
30 ships. 31.
70 million? 10?
All of the ships.
Okay, so we got 30.
31,
So,
actually. So, yeah.
somewhere between 5 and 10 seems reasonable
I
for a decoy.
I thought it would be kind of nice. Well, what if we did I mean, we could do the Artuk. It could be the second one with the 5 lamprey ships, or it could be, let's see, the Thrycreen. They have 4. Maybe we do that. Maybe they think, hey, this group of people had 2 Thrycreens with them. They were able to talk one faction into coming with them. So we'll have the second wind and the 4 scorpion ships.
Those are
Kind
the
of.
slowest ones, though.
Yeah, I just realized that as I was kind of saying it. All right, so maybe we
Yeah, we
do
gotta
the.
give them. We gotta give them a chance to. Doesn't
Don't
have to be
laugh,
the fastest
Winston.
ships, but maybe the medium ships or something,
Maybe
Maybe the
we
wasp
do the.
ones. The
or a
wasp ones are
mix.
well, a mix makes it like if the idea is we have one faction on our side, right? So
Yeah. What if we
Okay.
just did? I mean, we know the Shrikes are fast. What if we put the other 4 Shrike ships with the second wind, and so that way they can like retreat faster.
and leave the second wind to just get pounded.
No, but I mean, some could zoom off faster. Like the idea here is there's going to be multiple ships, so if they can, I mean, they might even be able to like, yeah, run circles, so to speak, around the other the star moths, giving the second wind a chance.
So I will say one component of this is the living ship is a fly speed of 40, and Star Moss of a fly speed of 50. So they'll get caught. So it's fine because you could like get enough leadway that you could like drag them into a trap, right? But just there's no way they're gonna outrun the Star Moth. They're just gonna kind of like
Right.
they're gonna have
And
to
we
drag
don't,
them.
yeah, and we don't necessarily want them.
Yeah,
Like,
run them. We want to
yeah,
just be
they-
slower, so yeah, that we would retreat ahead of
Mhm.
time to try to pull them in, sort of thing.
Do
Got
any
it.
of our factions have better armed ships? Maybe those are the ones we want to send with the
No.
second wind.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not so fast, but more weapons.
Yeah.
So let's
That's a good
see.
point.
The wasp ship has 3 ballista. The squid ship has 2 ballista and a mangonel, just kind of similar amount of damage. Actually, I lied. It does a lot more damage. It does 5d10. So then the space galleon's got 2 ballista and a mangonel. Strike ship has 3 ballista. They're almost exactly the same. And then the scorpion has a ballista and 2 claws and a mangonel. So scorpion ships are meant to like get in close and like go to town.
I
Oh,
think
and
we
the
send the
hammerhead.
scorpion.
Yeah.
Let's do the scorpion ships, and then it does look like we got our Thrycreen friends to join us, and that's it. They've got a little bit of juice. They've got enough power that when the star moths come in, they can get up on it and attack it. Whereas the star moths are probably more effective at a distance. You know.
Do the claws like slow down? Like
You
that
can
claw
grapple.
thing? Grapple? Yeah,
Well, that's good. Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think the 4 scorpion ships and the second win. Right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
Okay. So I think we have a plan. Let's see how this is going to play out. And just one more time, so I can hear. You're going to be taking 5 ships. So Commander Crux and the Thrycreen are going to get a. They're going to go ahead, and their intention is to kind of like skirmish a little with the outside forces, and then take a few hits, turn tail, flee right
No
into
flee.
the other. Well, not flee. Courageously transition
Deception
backwards.
maneuver.
There you go. Brave maneuver
Brave.
backwards.
Brave Crux slowly moved away.
Slowly. It's a fighting retreat. That's the term in OSC. I think actually I always mess it up. But whatever. The point is, they're gonna back into the rest of lure them into the rest of the fleet, and there's just going to be a skirmish. And the goal there, I think, if I'm understanding, is to ultimately provide a distraction so that your strike ship's able to get through the chaos and go invisible mode and land.
Right.
Not actually land,
Well,
drop you off.
Cover and drop us
Yeah.
off. Yes.
Okay, got it.
And the tactics we want them is kind of strike and pull back, or look wounded, draw in. Like we want them to keep them busy, take out, maybe gang up on a few if they get separated, but ultimately we want these ships to kind of stay together and not get destroyed. Like, just draw out the battle, be as defensive as they can while keeping the Xaryxians on their toes. It's gonna take some wits, but hopefully there's some military minded folks other than Crux, or I should say in addition to Crux, to kind of worry about those details, because that's way outside of Ichabod's purview.
Okay. So what we'll say is, like, and we talked about this a little bit before stream, there's really not like a good like structure for adjudicating fleet battles anyways. So I think that we'll kind of abstract it in the sense that you've got a bunch of factions together. They all have captains and strategy. They're going to be able to work around this. I will say the Thrycreen would be maybe a little bit like suspicious that they're put in front. But I'm not going to bother with the charisma roll because you keep rolling 27 and 28 or whatever. So I think it's fine. They'll be down for the plan, basically. Maybe there's a bit of like guff that they give you. And as far as like tactics go, I do have some rolling that will happen just to see how successful this Harry goes. But you all, I think we can save all the like complex coordination and say this is gonna, that we need to like move tokens around and stuff to make this happen. We'll just say that the plan is a bunch of competent people organizing and executing synchronously, and then we'll deal with a few rolls here and there. So
We just play Battleship. We just get some
we could just play Battleship. Look, when Alex was having bad technical issues for a second, I was like, if it doesn't work, we'll just play Battleship and it'll be fun. That's how we'll simulate it. And Alex comes back. I'm sorry you died.
You sunk my star moth.
Oh, see, you could market that. It's a Battleship version, but it's all for Spelljammer. Nice.
I'd play it. I'd play it on stream for
Yeah.
sure.
Battle Jam.
That would be fun.
So anything that you want to do other than you, first of all, go ahead and take a long rest if you haven't already.
Yeah.
I do think, in addition to the long rest, we would want to see, like, even if it's just to borrow, like, is there an arsenal? I mean, I think we all started the adventure with like one magic item, but we haven't really gained any other significant treasures along the way. So I'm wondering if maybe Volcath would be willing to, whether they're enchanted gladiatorial weapons that he may have, or other things from his private collection. Again, he's in for a penny, in for a pound. He's already lending us mercenaries and other things. Like, let's do what we can to make sure we succeed here. We're going to be on the ground without any friends. We're going to need some firepower.
I want a grenade.
Crux tosses you a couple.
That is the greatest thing I've ever heard her say.
It can't be that much harder to throw than a dart.
I'm just picturing Ichabod all like penny or a pound, blah blah blah. And then Placebo just goes, "I want a grenade."
So there is a magical grenade that exists in the Dungeon Master's Guide called the Gnomon Guard grenade, and it says that the wielder rolls in the chart for the Wand of Wonder 3 times. That just sounds. That sounds like a very problematic, potentially grenade there.
That does sound very chaotic.
We break Spelljammer.
The holy hand grenade.
The flamethrower off the table.
You know what? I'm gonna give you this. No, okay. Let's. You say you want a grenade, and what's his face is like, well, I have some things, but I don't know. And he's kind of like hesitant. So I need a persuasion check to see how forthright he's going to be, because even though he is in for a penny and for a pound, these are magic items that you will probably die with. So how much he is willing to help is going to be dependent on your persuasion check.
We're gonna have our good friend Ichabod roll that one.
Yeah. So it's Ichabod. He did raise it. Let's see what we get. The one time you don't blow it out of the water. That's okay. So what he will offer you is a couple things. He will first of all offer you each a greater healing potion. and that'll be obvious. This this item that I found, this grenade, is unknown rarity. I've never seen that before.
Is it
Why is it
homebrew?
unknown?
Is this a homebrew item or is it an
Maybe it's
actual?
homebrew. I don't know. It says it's found in the DMG.
Oh wow.
It's called the Nomen Guard grenade. Why is it unknown? Is it like one of those things where it's like based on the rarity, what it does? It's the
Swear,
Well, then you would
craziest
ran.
think.
thing.
I
Hmm.
ran a one shot for your kids, David, that had that Nomen Guard. It was a weird place. I don't remember there being
Omen
grenades
guard.
there though.
Hmm.
I think it's probably in the
Yeah.
explosives section.
Yeah. So
It's,
here's what I'm gonna
it's
do.
probably not in the actual magic item section. It's probably in that appendix or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so you're actually
Oh,
being serious. The explosive section.
Ha!
Yeah, yep. There's a whole thing on explosives and grenades and how they fit in a fantasy world and stuff.
What we're gonna say is Crux has grenades, so don't worry. This is how they fit.
In Nomengard, they just grow on trees. Like you can just grab a grenade anywhere.
Yeah. So this is a really strange item, and I just because I found it in the DMG while on stream, we were gonna say that he that's what one of the things he retrieves is a Nomengard grenade. You know, say now this
It's
grenade.
all yours,
here,
placebo.
be very careful with
Oh.
it. It does a lot of things. I actually don't know totally what it makes. You ever seen those like mechanical gnomes that wander around and explode when you talk to them?
Oh, we did see some gnomes. Auto
Well,
gnomes.
this is like a grenade version of that. Like imagine an auto gnome was smushed into a grenade and enchanted and just carefully hands it to you, and so you can have that Gnomon Guard grenade.
Awesome.
And I will post what it does in the channel. Yeah, that one just because I found that. That's why you're getting that. So yeah, I didn't even check to see how overpowered it is. We're just gonna say that you have it. Anyways, that is your item, and then what all has everyone got? Like, what else? What else would you want? Do you need like a +1 weapon or anything like that?
I
I'm trying to think
I
like
would
what,
I would take some kind of +1 weapon maybe or something. All I have is
I'd
dagger.
rather have defense at this point. Like I almost never use melee. I think I've used my dagger a handful of times, but I'd be more interested in getting my AC up past 14 here.
you wear armor,
Yeah. That might...
I'm
or do you
thinking
want like
more
a?
of like a mantle of protection kind of thing. Like maybe a nice cape to go with my top hat and walking stick.
Yeah, I was gonna go with either that or the armor, but if you don't wear armor, I'm just gonna make this easy.
Wear
Since
clothes, Winston.
look, that's right. You're a goopy bard guy. So yeah, so you can have a mantle protection. I'm just gonna we're gonna do it like that scene in Narnia where Santa brings all the cool stuff for the kids. It's like they just get their heart's desire. So you get a grenade, placebo. You're gonna get a mantle protection, Ichabod, and what we're gonna say for what's Koraz. You're a sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
let me
wouldn't
give you
mind some protection too. I have my natural armor, but my AC is 15, which
It's really not that bad for a sorcerer.
is true.
Why is it so high? Because you're being a bug.
Because of my being a bug. Yeah.
That's cool.
Exoskeletons for the win.
On account of my being a bug.
I'm trying to find. I think there's
Yeah,
an
I'll say
item.
just roll. Give me Koraz is kind of a crazy wild-eyed guy. So
That's
why don't
true.
you just roll and give me what something that sounds
Yeah, let's do that.
you know?
Yeah. What's a good table to roll on for like a pretty solid level, but not crazy? Table
Table F
C,
is
maybe?
the kind of.
Table D. Help me out, DMs.
Are you not? Can you not hear me?
I don't know.
I
I'm
never do
sorry.
this shit. All right, we're gonna do table F because there's like a million things on it. So Koraz, roll me a D100.
All right. It's going down. Where did I put the there it is.
We're just going off the rails tonight.
Woohoo!
Oh no. I heard meta table F. Oh, good. That was the one I settled on. So what did you roll?
89.
89. You are going to get a necklace of adaptation. So he just pulls out this weird looking necklace. He's like, I don't really know what this does. Here you go. And just throws it at you.
It's beautiful.
So let's see what a necklace of adaptation
but-
does.
Sounds very, something adaptable. Sounds like it's
Yeah.
very
It's
useful.
it's kind of useless.
No, it's cool.
No.
It lets you breathe normally in any environment, and you have advantage on savings throws made against harmful gases and vapors.
Yeah, I have to make sure. Yeah,
Aren't
well,
you
that
immune to
actually could be relevant.
poison?
Cloud kill could very well come up. Yeah. Are you immune to poison?
I am immune to something. Hang on. I get advantage against being charmed or afraid. I don't think I am immune to poison.
Oh, okay.
Cool. That actually could be really
Then
helpful.
that could be
Also,
useful.
Breath of Dragons.
Oh.
If I roll
Yeah.
to vapor. Okay, cool. And then we unfortunately lost
You hear me?
poor Alex. We could not hear you. Alex, do you have a desire? Heart's desire. Put it in the chat.
He has an enchanted sword at this point, right? But he doesn't have an enchanted
He
bow.
wants plus 1 arrows or a bow. Yeah.
Plus 1 arrows or a bow.
Yeah.
I think we can give you some plus 1 arrows. Or actually, you know what? Probably makes more sense for it to be a bow, right?
Or both. It could come with a quiver of 10 plus 1 arrows.
I'm learning how to be a DM on the fly here. Yeah. Okay. What's an arrow of slaying do? That looks really good.
It probably slays.
It probably does slay. Oh my gosh! You know what? You need this, Robyn. Unbreakable arrows.
Oh man,
It
wouldn't
can't
that
be
be nice?
broken.
Just have to pick them up when you're done.
Yeah. All right, Alex. We're gonna say that he pulls out a bow, and he
Okay.
is going to he'll just pull out a plus. You'll roll an 18. He pulled out a plus 1 bow. So he pulled out this pristine, gleaming bow that's it's extra long. Actually, it's not extra long. It's actually kind of short, nice and compact, something almost hand crossbow size, but it is effectively a long bow. And he will say, "This thing doesn't look very big and powerful, but I promise you, it packs a big punch." And he kind of shows you the tightness on the string, and it just has this shimmering effect when you pull the string. He says, "Now listen, I'm going to be honest with you. These are very expensive, so I need these back. Like,
Even
all
the
those things.
grenade?
Well, not the grenade. Good luck with that. Or the potions.
Okay.
But all of these other things, like, you can have them, but as soon as you dispose of the Xaryxians and all that, I'd like them returned.
Sounds
Unless
good.
you." Yeah, that's right. It's like, fuck that. You're never seeing us again.
We're going to Eberron, baby.
Crash through the crystal. All right. So with that said, y'all can take care of that however you want on D&D and Beyond and all that. Just for today, we could just roll with it, and we'll have it updated next time. Good luck finding that grenade thing. I don't know if you, did you
I
find
found it. Oh yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Yeah, all right. Oh my god, grenade. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So then that's going to bring us to the plan. So it's 9:00 Central. I think we probably will not get too far in this tonight, but that's okay. I think we can pick it up tomorrow. Next session won't be the last session, but the very last session of this. I think that we were 2 sessions away if we would have played today, like straight from the beginning, run out and start doing the combat. So I think this probably puts us at today plus 2 more sessions. So it's cool. I think it's still in line with what I'd planned. So but I think we should go ahead and kick things off. So when you all are ready, are you all ready to head for the Xerax space?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So let's actually talk a bit about that. So you're going to enter into so everyone's going to wave their goodbyes. Crux is going to come up and give you a big bear hug and a pat, and he's got like his uniform cleaned and polished, and he's got all the medals like shined carefully. And Warwick is over there, and he's got his dress uniform on as well, and fitted up, and they look extremely impressive. And he just will, thank you for everything. We're gonna do you proud. Follow the tactics to the letter and kill as many of those damn star moths as possible. And he'll grab Warwick and they'll march off to the ship. And everyone else, all the different factions, they're gonna give you kind of like we're part of a team now, so we trust you, but a little bit of like you could just feel just a little bit of desperation, a little hint of nerves in the air as people are understand that this is going to be challenging, and you have rightly already figured out that you're not going to take on the entire empire with these 30 ships. This is going to basically be a distraction to get you onto the Citadel as close as possible, undetected. And you would know part of the tension is that most of these ships cannot outrun star moths. So once they get dragged into the trap, so to speak, that you've drawn, that's going to be where a lot of the fighting is going to take place while y'all are trying to find the princess. So there is the chance of eventually there being death, right, for everybody, or at least having to flee. So bit of a tense scenario, but at the end of the day, everyone's having a good time. They're drinking. There's a lot of camaraderie. You notice that even the Artuks are kind of opening up a little bit to others, and even like there's one Artuk Weedling that is hanging out with the Thrycreen, sharing drinks and kind of like communicating as best they can, I guess psychically. Hey, thanks for the raid or the subscription or something. Hey, it's Glaxian. Hey, Glaxian. I just saw lots of explosions of things on my screen. But anyways, and so you run all that kind of stuff and you get on your ship and you're going to be riding on a Shrike ship that is named Skyra. And in fact, this is the captain's ship. And you'll see that if you remember Rika, she was the Aarakocra captain who was kind of standoffish. She was the leader of the faction. She's actually going to be the captain.
Oh, joy.
And
she's going to ditch us.
No, she kind of gives you like a begrudging look and just looks around at all the ships collecting together. And, because, you were negotiating. Now she sees the coalition has formed, and there's a bit of a look of respect in her eyes. She's like, well, I didn't think that this would be something that would really work. But if we're going to put my people in danger, I'm going to be the first one. I'll be on the deck with you. I'll help this, and she points at the Grimzod. I'll help this fool of a vampire keep you from getting killed. But you won't have much time there, so move fast.
We've just
You
been
are a very
redeemed a reroll.
brave and noble leader. We thank you.
She just kind of stares at you. Cut that bullshit. Come on. But I appreciate it, I guess. Let's get going. And she starts to like direct her crew to like load shit up. Alex, you were saying something, I think.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Galaxian just redeemed a reroll.
Yay, Galaxian for me, right? Reroll for players. Fuck. All right.
We're gonna need it with that grenade.
Like
We're
everyone
keeping
grass on their
Crux
head?
alive.
I can't teleport with it. Did you read like that? Like if you teleport or put it in
It blows?
interdimensional space, it blows up.
Nice.
That is something we need to keep track of.
That'd be a
I
great
could
way to
not-
accidentally die, right?
TPK.
I could not find any mention of this by the explosive. They talk about frag grenades and smoke grenades. There's like, I don't think the Gnomon Guard grenade is in the Dungeon Master's guide.
I swear to God, I found it in here.
It
DM
was in the
reroll as well.
inventory.
Oh
No.
Yay.
What is Nomengard? Oh, it's in the Forgotten Realms, maybe?
Yeah, it just says found in the Dungeon Master's Guide, but no helpful information about where to find it. All right, cool. All right, so you'll get started. So essentially, you're going to make your way into astral space. This is always a special trip for you, Koraz, especially because as you enter astral space, I'm assuming, are you the Spelljammer? Actually, are you the Spelljammer in the ship?
I don't think so. No, right?
No.
We
Okay.
got another guy.
Okay. Well, what are you doing then whenever they enter astral space?
I'm probably on the. I guess I'm on the deck.
Yeah, and you are on the deck. I was hoping you were at least awake. You start to trip out as usual. Like your eyes just do like the swirly thing. And you're just absorbing that astral energy that you just love. It's your home place. And you can just see as you're coming in, like all of the swirling chaos of this like bizarre world that you can navigate with your thoughts, you've lived here for a long time and kind of had this like strange lifespan because of it. And you'll just feel like at the back of your head that soothing voice that uh, irritates you and drives you crazy of only thing you could name is the Phlogiston Spectre, just talking to you and just asking you questions, trying to like pester you, and you just turn around, nothing's there, but you feel his presence as you're moving towards the rack space.
Oh man. I knew he had to be working with the Xaryxians.
All right. So, moving on. So you're going to enter Xerax space. And so in Xerax space, basically, this is a very simple system. At the center of the system is a white hot star. That is the literal, this is the star, right? It's the star that you have to destroy. And sitting there, supporting several planets. There is I guess technically 3 planets orbiting the sun, and then there's the Imperial Citadel. And you can tell even as you enter in the space from like kind of the edge of the system, far off, you can see this little dot of a sun, and you can see this little tether connecting to one of the things orbiting it, and you can just barely make it out. And it is the Citadel, which is again tied to this sun with this beam of light. And you would know that based on how travel works and everything like that, that it'd probably take you about I think from this point, probably about a half a day of careful travel, not to like arouse anything, moving closer to the Xaryxis, to the star. I'm sorry, I guess to the Imperial Citadel, right? Trying to like intercept it. And that is something you can do. And keeping in mind that I guess the plan is to have like this forward front, right? How far ahead do you want them to go? Or do you want to defer to your NPCs? Like the Scorpion ships, I guess.
Man, I think
I would say so that like our backup ships could get to them within 2 rounds if they have to, if they get surrounded or something, right? So they'll just get blowed up, something like that.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the backup ships will be visible, I would think, if they're
Right, if they're that close.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
would
true.
only be like, even I don't know if ships dash, but it would be like 100 to 150 feet max, right?
Right.
I was thinking closer to like 600 feet. Like
yeah.
I think what's going to happen is these ships are going to come out to engage. They're not necessarily, if they're far enough back, I don't know that they're going to be looking, for specs beyond, but I mean, if they're too close, the ruse will be up before they get anywhere near.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's not a bad idea to have them kind of going single file. I mean,
Yeah.
that actually is, I mean, or at least 2 by 2 or something where then they could flank out. But I don't know. Like, I mean, the ships are going to take a pummeling. Like they just will, but they will also be dealing damage. So I don't know that the Star Moths are going to just like wipe them out instantly. I mean, if like 50 ships come out, they're going to like retreat right away. Like they're just going to.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So I guess I'm thinking like, I don't know, a few 100 feet at least.
Yeah, you would know that generally engagements start about 1,000 feet away. So if you're within 1,000 feet, it's going to look like you're somewhat clustered. So you probably want at least 1,000 feet back. Now you could put them strategically and like fan them out and like maybe have them like off like line or something like diagonally,
Right.
all that kind of stuff to kind of help. But if you're like 200 or 300 feet away, it's just going to be like a blob of ships. So it's going to be risky. I would say 1,000 is the absolute minimum, and maybe like safer be like 15 to 2,000.
I guess I'm thinking 1,500, and then they kind of come in as a curve with the second wind kind of in the back, and then the two scorpions kind of a little bit on the sides and in front, fanned out a little bit to try to cover the 2 rows of ships, 1,500 feet, or 2 columns of ship, 1,500 feet past them.
Okay.
Unless other people have other ideas. Like it's a gamble, and again, it's depending on how many ships are coming out, they might pull back right away. Like, oh no, we've been spotted, we better turn back, and then they'll inevitably, yeah. It's going to be what it is. There's going to have to be a little bit of luck involved. It's quite a risk.
Okay. So if there's no objections, I think we can go forward with that. So we'll say that, basically starting position, the backup crew is about 1,500 feet behind, trying to like blend in and not be all clumped, or maybe clumped, whatever. They'll do some evasive sort of like scattering, so it's not so obvious what's happening. Maybe like turn their sails a certain way and like all this kind of stuff, try to like fit in. And a lot of them are pretty slender ships too, like the squid ships and the wasps. And the shrikes are pretty quick. So, they'll do what they can to like make it not so incredibly obvious. And then our 4 scorpion ships plus the living what was it called? The second chance? Third chance?
Second wind.
Second we call it the second chance. The second
Final
chance is the
chance.
charm. Yeah.
Crux's last chance.
Yeah, the last stand, Crux's last stand. So anyways, they're going to move up with the scorpion ships, and you are not going with the scorpion ships, right? You're going to stay behind and wait for them to kind of like get engaged and then try to slip past invisible.
I think I guess if I'm seeing, I think we're we're probably even maybe, above or a little bit below, but I think we're keeping pace with them. And well, I guess no, we'd have to be directly behind because we only have an hour, and then we'll turn invisible as they get close enough where they'd be able to see us. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Once they get close enough that they'd be able to see us, we go invisible and then go past them.
Right.
As they come up to engage us.
So we don't accidentally get caught in any crossfire, anything like that.
So let's go ahead and play that out then. So they will make their move. You'll stay behind them. And the Shrike is a smaller ship. It's definitely smaller than the Scorpions and definitely smaller than the living ship that Crux is piloting or commanding. So I feel like you'll be able to it's kind of like halfling, like you'll be able to stay behind them. And what we're going to do is I would like you to roll me a stealth check. Gosh, I don't know what you would do for this. Would this be a stealth check? It's kind of more like a
deception
ship handling check, and you're not the ones doing the handling. I'm going to say let's use a stealth check, and you can roll. Whoever wants to roll the check and roll the stealth check. And this will be representative of just kind of like all the planning you've done. So you can use the highest stealth modifier you've got. That's fine with me, and roll that. So who's our most stealthy person?
I have a +4. Zeph?
I have a +8. Oh.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh, that's sneaky.
What Zeph is.
That's probably our sneakiest.
I have a +8.
Well, I don't know. Zeph is probably pretty sneaky too.
Yeah.
Did you lose me again?
Zeph, are you able to talk?
Um,
I don't think
I'll
we're
look.
hearing him.
Ground control to Major Zeph.
No, he's +7.
Okay.
All right, placebo.
Oh, but I'm not a lucky roller, so
We have a reroll.
okay, that makes
Play
me
a
feel a little bit better.
reroll.
All right, I'll bring it up.
You got
Attributes,
this.
Stealth. Normal. That's a very average stealth.
You want to
Re-roll it.
re-roll it?
I'll reroll. Okay. Come on. There, that's
better.
better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
15 was
Thanks,
the number. So.
Alexian.
Thanks, Alexian.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I was looking for like at least a 15, but 24 is definitely clear. So you're gonna have no problem stealthing, and and again, this is kind of more representative of the whole party's effort to just coordinate this plan. And it goes well. You're able to stay kind of like behind this blob of scorpion ships. And what'll happen is when you get a little closer to the citadel. So first of all, you get a better view. You see this asteroid that's been basically carved out or mined out to look like a moth. And there's these beautifully architected buildings all across the asteroid. It looks, if you didn't know better, it looks like paradise, like this perfect manicured place with these beautiful gardens and running water, and these pristine ships sitting in the dock, and this beam of light just firing into the heart of this star, which just glancing at it, it's quite beautiful, the whole site, even though the sinister heart behind everything. And at the outskirts of the citadel, there's basically a fleet that's kind of like patrolling, and the fleet is 30 ships. And what will happen is you will be able to engage one of the wings of the fleets because of Crux's excellent experience as a commander and his brilliant mind and his motivational energy and all these things going on, all this positive. Hey, Pruno, thanks for the raid. Appreciate that. And what will happen then is you will make it to, or they'll harry one of the wings, which is going to be 6 fighter ships, 6 Star Moths, and immediately the combat gets brutal. And so what we're going to do is I need a caller from the team to take OSC rules to roll an attack roll for Crux's little crew. He's going to get a +1 because he's just the one captain. Actually, I'm sorry, +2. He's got another captain with him. And we're going to see if you hit this wing. So I'd say, who wants to be the roller for this one?
Got it.
I did the last roll.
All right.
It's a +1. I'll do
It's a
it.
+2.
Right.
What you're going to get, actually, +2. So D20
Oh.
+2.
+2. Okay. Need some shoes here. Come on. Oh, not very good.
Crux dies. No.
Next time we're gonna have Zeph roll.
So Crux doesn't die, but the ships are not trying to. They're really trying to be evasive, right? They're trying to put on the show of an attack, and they don't destroy any of the Star Moth ships. None of them get wiped out, and then the Star Moths get an attack, and they're going to try to kill some of these guys. They just get a +1.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Jeez.
Not good. So they blow up one of the Scorpion ships in the fray. So essentially, the first initial exchange is the Scorpion ship gets blown up, and it just shatters into pieces. It's getting ripped up by these mangonel balls these cannonballs, basically, and like these ballistas. And what happens is what you're seeing is the Star Moths are more disciplined fighters, and they have focus fired on this on this Scorpion, and just tore it to shreds. And at that point, Crux senses that there's been enough evidence of them taking a hit, and they're going to turn tail and try to escape. So is that the point that you would want to go invisible, or would you go invisible right when the
Yes.
combat starts? Okay.
I would
think
say
that
we would
makes
go
sense.
invisible before the combat started.
Right. As
That's
they're
pretty
closing in, we would be turning invisible and making our move even before like the first volleys start happening.
Okay. Cool. So then what we're going to do is we're going to, while y'all are moving in, just for the sake of like the drama, what's going to happen, there's going to be 3 more exchanges or like meaningful exchanges before the trap is set. So I want to see how many of these ships survive this experience. So they're fleeing. So I'm going to say that they can attack with disadvantage. And who was the roller for it? It was Ryan. You want to
It
make a Zeph roll?
It was me.
We
All
wanted
right.
to make Alex have a turn.
We're just gonna do a couple of roll offs. So you destroy one of the ships.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, that's not the right
Oh,
button. Sorry. That's not...
I like it. It works for me. See, it was meant to be.
Oh, so in the fleeing, Crux is able to kind of like do a slide, like a slick maneuver. He gets a blow off and he destroys one of the star moths, and they make it out alive. So give me another attack with disadvantage, Zeph. Oh, that was not a disadvantage. Well, we'll say the next one's disadvantaged. Zeph from Beyond the Grave. So you do not hit. I keep rolling the D12. I like the D12 better.
We do too. Go keep
Yeah, go for the D12.
keep doing it, man.
Hmm.
Okay,
Right.
that is not going to hit Crux's fleet because he has 2 captains still alive. One more disadvantage, Alex. D20 plus 2.
All right.
And
Ooh.
oh yeah,
Nice.
so that adds
I
up.
like
I was
that.
wow. So another one of the star moths that's in pursuit is destroyed, and they'll get an attack off, and another crit miss. Lord in heaven, this is not going good.
Yeah,
So
maybe we should
Great.
switch again. Are we back to placebo to roll?
yeah, that's right. So what ends up happening? So 2 of the star moths are destroyed. 1 of the scorpions is destroyed. And at this point, though, this fleet that's kind of this wing that's kind of chased off, a bunch of the other star moths are trailing behind them. So it's like a race for the battle to commence. And basically, by the time you are able to sneak in to the asteroid, you can see like there's signs of like, I mean, in the sky, there's arrows getting shot. There's, I should say, actually, you don't quite. We'll come back in a second. As you're approaching the star moth, I'm sorry, the citadel, you're seeing the ships breaking apart. You see a fireball going off. Like you're seeing that there's main combat happening now between these 2 fleets. The star moths aren't fully engaged in there, but they're closing in, and the trap is sprung, and so there's a bit of advantage that's happening, and we'll do some rolls with that in mind just throughout the rest of probably next session more than anything. But you are closing in on the citadel, right? And you're flying in, and Grimzod he's standing on the ship's deck, and he's concentrating, and he has the ship. He's kind of his hand kind of like pressed up against one of the edges of the ship, and he's just concentrating. And the ship is this like translucent, ethereal feeling. And then as you come in to sort of like basically make your dock, you're like make your angle for docking, you see Grimzod go, oh, and he like grabs his head, and the ship comes back into view, and it's like you pass through some kind of a barrier that like shut off this invisibility effect that Grimzod had, and you're flying just towards the citadel with no invisibility effect on or functioning, but you're very close. You're maybe like 300 feet away.
I think we need to do a swallow swoop and be dropped off very quickly here.
Yeah. And
I
then
am not a captain, but I think that is a good idea.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, and they're going to make the push. They're going to push in, and you get close another 100 feet over the next few seconds. Like you're pushing, right? Because you're going like as fast as the ship can go. And as you do that, you see hold on. You see, like in Star Trek, you see 6 figures just like transform and appear on the deck of the ship. And it is a collection of astral elves. And you would notice out of this crew, 4 of them just look like your standard visor warriors, just like the ones you tangoed with back at the Rock of Brawl. But one of them looks special, and he is decked out in like this illustrious flowing garb. He's slightly taller, slightly more slender. He's wielding like a blade that's shimmering with radiant energy, but that sort of like that sick radiance, just like the sun itself. And he's clearly the leader. And he will just, once they land, and say, "I am Commander Vale. You are all under arrest for trespassing. Surrender your weapons."
No.
And he just holds out his shimmering blade.
Shit. I feel like Koraz would just blast him.
No. Like, no, we won't surrender.
Yeah, I think Koraz is gonna blast him with a firebolt right then and there.
All right, let's do it. Roll your damage.
Just roll the damage.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Roll the attack. Yeah, and I miscounted. There are so
And
many
I
figures.
miss.
Oh no!
I'm gonna reroll.
Use your reroll. Let's do it.
I'm gonna reroll. A 17.
Hits.
Okay, cool. That's better.
That's much better.
10 points.
And what you would also like as this is happening, and let me just make sure there's no resistances or anything. Nope, that's good. Is basically there's another ship, another Star Moth that was trying to get into your range as soon as you became visible. Like it was like the head ship that was held back. This is the commander ship of the entire fleet that was orbiting and staying close to the base. And the commander has teleported aboard. You would recognize Vale's name. This is the man who was commanding the ship that seeded your home planet.
Oh!
This is the guy. So I don't know if that came out. I can't remember exactly where, but it was a long time ago. But this is the one
I
who was
thought
running
it
the
sounded
ship.
familiar. I just couldn't replace it at first. Oh yeah, I have it written down. I just turned back and there it is written down. Yeah. It was Vael.
Cool.
All
Now,
the way
Alex,
back to
we're
December.
watching you in the chat. So this is going to be here. We're going to go. Oh, another reroll.
I think the story was there was only one. We used 2, and now Galaxian bought another one so that we weren't in debt a reroll.
So you're back to 2. Okay.
No,
Oh, is that
we're
what?
back to-
Oh,
we don't
0?
have any-
So wait, did I use one when we didn't have one? Is that what happened? Oh, that's
Yep.
funny. I didn't
And
realize that.
Alex was trying to tell us, but we couldn't hear him, I guess. So I
It's the universe provides. Just keep re-rolling and they'll appear,
Yeah.
man.
or at least
So-
the Galaxian provides.
So I pulled us onto this map. Here's the thing. So first of all, I'll set the stage. So this is the deck of a Shrike. And what probably would realistically be happening is there'd probably be like 2 of these Aarakocra who are manning the ship or manning this ballista, this big old ballista here. And there probably would be well, I don't know. I guess there'd probably be more in the deck. I think it takes 3 to man it. They're manning the one ballista. And there's just one hanging out for some reason. And you know,
Big Courager.
because we're trying to run light, you know, that was the whole request. So there's a few more that are below deck that were not on deck, and you know the Spelljammer is below deck. But what you have on deck is your Aarakocra shipmates, basically. The 4 of you, I'm assuming, were probably preparing to jump off. Grimzod, of course, is on the deck because he was trying to keep it invisible, and then Snapper, who's hanging out there. And what you see teleported across is actually 7 people. It is hold on, that's also still not right. It actually should be 8. What did I say?
Oh, come on. Oh,
I
maybe
mean,
it's 9.
9.
I mean, why don't we just make it even dozen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. His teleport. So he teleports. He's teleported onto the deck, and he's got his little crew, and he's got with him a tough-looking guy next to his side. Looks like maybe some kind of commander as well, and then what looks to be a priest of some kind. You've tangoed with these mask-wearing types in the front. It's kind of the rank and file, and you actually did interrogate one of these priest-looking guys before, but you've never seen any of these two. These two look pretty tough and scary, and they're a little more fancy looking with bigger weapons, nicer armor, and they have boarded the ship via teleport. And we are not going to have negotiations. Fire was flung. Plus, on top of that, there was never going to be any negotiations. So what we're going to do is I'm going to throw all of y'all onto the initiative tracker. Let me get the combat going. Oops, wrong button.
Which one is the leader here? That's the guy in the center.
The blue
here?
guy. Yeah, the blue one.
So that's the guy I nailed.
That's the guy you nailed. Everyone's on combat. Let's go ahead and not roll initiative because I would really prefer to have Alex as like a active vocal participant in this combat and this game itself. It was good for us to kind of move it along. But basically, we're going to pick up with resolving this combat as you're flying into the Citadel. And what we're going to say is you're 200 feet away from the Citadel. So this ship moves at 70 feet around. So you're basically 3 rounds from being like right over the tip of the Citadel, essentially. Now, if you want to get right into the center, it's a little bit more of a distance. Gosh, where's the map? Oh, actually, it's quite a bit more of a distance. Yeah, because I was thinking that like basically getting to like the bottom tail, where the common docks are, was where you're about 200 feet away. So you're probably another, like, you could drop off in the common docks after 3 rounds, but if you want to get closer, it's going to be more like 5 to 10 rounds. So basically, you need to win this fight if you want to try to like position yourself in a better place.
And not be in another fight, probably.
Potentially. Yeah. Now, what you do have the advantage of, you have not used your invisibility, although that's only 1 minute. But if you have any other invisibility stuff, you haven't used that. Grimzod was not going to be able to make the ship invisible for at least an hour. Plus, you don't know what is the reason why it broke out of invisibility. If it's like an aura or if it was like a spell or something like that. So
yeah,
something to be thinking about. But that said, that is where we're going to wrap. I think that's a good stopping point. Like the whole ethos is to have these like cliffhanger moments. And so we're going to pick up with this nasty slog of a fight that's about to happen and some poor air cockroaches giving up their lives. Because they have,
it's for the cause.
They have 13 hit points. But yeah, probably for a good cause.
But look, they're aiming that thing right at the center of the...
Yeah, this guy is toast.
I'll give it to you. They can...
That guy's toast.
he picked the wrong place to warp in.
If only it was poked at the boss.
Right.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I mean, that's why I had them there. They're preparing just in case they needed it. Anyways, we'll pick up at that point, and we will see how this plays out. You've done a good job, because if you had attacked in open combat, there's a whole like complication that happens that basically y'all avoided using stealth. So I'm not going to play that complication out because of that. So that's going to be the reward. So by playing strategically, this battle is way less terrible than it would have been. Like, this is actually like one of the least bad situations that can happen. So you did good. It was great tactics. And what's going to happen too is you have enough ships out there that it's not going to be just like an immediate decimation. Like the fleet in this part of the part of the system, it's almost even-ish. Like, there'll be more fleets coming, so it's not like you're not going to be able to hold out forever, but they'll be able to hold out for a while. We'll see who all dies, but I'll do some rolls in the background to figure that out. But that's it. So we're going to stop. So thank you all for playing the game tonight, and Alex especially. I know that it's frustrating to have the technical problems and have to like communicate via chat. Although I'm sure he's just like cracked a beer and just is hanging back. But appreciate you kind of forging forward to get the game moving. And a couple things about the channel, as always, if you are into our style of play or you just want to hang out and just say hi, coming out in the Discord, where it's where we recruit a lot of players. It's where we recruit for our community campaign. Our community campaign, I talked about in the beginning, but basically, if you got a mic and a stable internet connection and you want to play some D&D, even if you've never played before, it could be your first time you ever played, you can jump in the Discord, sign up for a game that's open. And we typically run something like 4 a month, maybe more nowadays. Depends on the month a little. Great way to learn. It's how I learned how to play D&D. It's how I got connected to the channel. Really enjoyed it. It's a really cool system, and it's exciting. And it's Greyhawk. It's fairly low level. We do have some tier 2 stuff, but it's a lot of tier 1. It's like the heart and soul of D&D to me. Just like adventuring around, doing cool quests with a bunch of strangers. It's fun. So come on in and do that. Otherwise, though, we got a lot of gaming going on. Probably the biggest one for the week that's worth shouting out is Friday. We're doing a game from a Kickstarter program that Goodman Games is running. So they're releasing this book called Dungeon Denizens, which is basically like an expansion pack for like hundreds. It's hundreds. I feel like it's hundreds.
It's 500 plus monsters.
500 plus monsters that are being added in. And so David here has worked a lot on that. Alex has worked on it. He's written several monsters. It's a really great program, a really great company. Goodman Games is awesome. We do a lot of stuff with them and like play a lot of their games. So Alex has written the Dungeon Delves, which is like a 2-page like dungeon to introduce the monsters basically from the Kickstarter, and he's going to be playing it on Friday, 5th edition. Next Friday, DCC version, which I'll be playing in that game hopefully. But anyways, this Friday is the 5th edition version, so you can come and check it out if you're curious about the Kickstarter, curious about what these wacky monsters are all about. We'll be playing that on Friday. Other games going on, though, there's a ton. Please jump in the Discord, check out the schedule, and you'll see there's like Tyranny of Dragon. Actually, I don't know if Tyranny of Dragons even happen anymore, but there's Dragonlance. There's I've got Eberron going on next week, God willing. We've got
That's
all
where
kinds
we're
of
headed.
stuff. That's right. You're gonna get blasted
We'll get there
into
one way or
Eberron.
another.
Crashing in.
That's right. Man, that'd be fun. We should do that. Have a mashup, Koraz and with the Kalistar. That's where the Flux Inspector is. He's gonna arise.
Ooh.
I need a big
Sorry,
bad.
got excited there.
But anyways, yeah, I almost did a Space Ghost impression, but I was like, it's been a while since I've watched Space Ghost. So I'm just gonna say he was like interacting with you. But the Flux Inspector is Space Ghost, just so you're aware. He's gonna be Space Ghost. But anyways, regardless, though, that's what's going on. So I'm just rambling at this point. I'm going to sign off. We're going to send a raid on to somebody if they're still working. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. And that is all we have for the night. Bye-bye. Temple of Doom.